No. Now she's basically repositioning her body because she moved very strongly, so she's now getting a better grip.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now she's more happy. Sorry.
It's not easy, huh?
No, it's tricky. But notice, first time it got the head. So many snakes spend ages struggling to get it from somewhere else. Snake straight on the head. So like
Yeah,
you
they
can
don't
wave
see,
your
they
eye
don't-
and your hand in front of them. They won't see
It's
anything.
like they are in meditation mode.
Wow, look at the head. So this is one of the crazy things about living inside a jungle. Actually, we were sitting down and just having dinner, and we heard a very, very, very crazy scream. We thought it maybe was a frog, but actually we came up to have a look, and it turned out it was a Rufous Tree Pie that was in the process of being constricted by a Forsten's cat snake. So this is definitely not something that we see every day. In fact, I don't think we've ever seen it before. So this is a Rufous Tree Pie being eaten by a Forsten's cat snake. Forsten's cat snake is the biggest cat snake in India, and it's actually quite common, especially around here in Goa. The Rufous Tree Pie was probably sleeping, I guess, and had a very, very rude awakening. It probably only took 3 minutes for the bird to be subdued entirely. Now it's dead. Wow, that head is insane.
There are so many tracks of them on. They should be eating frogs.
They prefer birds. Cat snakes really... Like this Forsten's cat snake, it probably only eats rats and birds. Or mice and birds. And birds probably 70-80% of its meal. Even lizards, for a snake that big, there's not really a lizard that lives in a tree that's big enough for it. The air breathing pipe basically goes right up alongside the spine in some of them, so the spine itself is kind of protecting them. It's still got this one very fat bit, but once that's in, then it's going to be very easy. That wing, you have to remember right now, is folded up, Ellie. So that wing's actually going to be able to go like this. Yeah.
We'll try anyway.
There's actually reports of big snakes eating alligators, for example.
He's squeezing it to make it tighter.
That's crazy.
God. Oh my.
So that's a really cool thing to have on camera. Is it still, you can hear it still? Audio is still recording? Yeah, super tired. So this is a really interesting thing. It's a very, very big bird, and it seems that at a certain point the snake recognized actually this is a really big meal, and it's now constricting the body of the bird below where it's eating to try and make it a little bit slimmer. So that's not something that I've ever seen before, but it's a really cool thing. The snake is actually problem solving here. You know, it's understanding that there is a problem and it's trying to find a solution, which is a really crazy thing. Whether she's successful, we'll have to see.
She's actually quite precarious there, hanging like that off the thin branch.
Yeah, she's... Oh no, she's
She's just on that little
just on
tiny
that one branch.
Yeah, that little thin one is sticking out.
There's definitely some kind of a fairly big animal over here.
Because the dogs.
I can hear it walking around.
Water buffalo.
Smaller than a water buffalo. Yeah, like maybe bandicoot rat or porcupine would be nice. I've never seen a snake do that before, where it's actually, where it's not only using constriction to kill the animal, it's then also using constriction to make the body smaller, and then to get the food to a size that allows it to eat it. There's examples of like alligators, for example, being eaten by, or crocodiles being eaten by anacondas, and it being so big that the crocodile ends up actually coming back out again, killing both of them.
No way.
No, coming out of the side because it's such a massive animal, and the anaconda was moving. So a few examples of things like that.
So if it's squeezing now though, the air in the bird is going to be going out the head or the other side, the other end? If it goes out the head, then that means it's going into
There's
the
probably
snake.
nowhere left. You have to think that the first part was constriction as well. So every time the bird tries to breathe in,
Every time
it's stopped.
exhales,
Every time
yeah,
it exhales, it gets
squeezed.
expanded, so it will get smaller and smaller and smaller until there's no air left. It does look almost like that's what it's doing. It just looked like it was massaging up. That is crazy. That is insane.
'Cause it can't
Look at
commit-
that, look at that. It's actually, oh.
It can't commit any more
You
length,
see that
otherwise it
goddamn?
will roll off the branch. It will fall off the branch.
80%.
Back tail.
So it's using the back of its body to pull the snake into it.
अब छतरी चाहिए.
Yeah. That's insane. Will be very interesting to send this to some people. That could be new documentation. I've never heard of a snake doing that before, where it's actually using its own constriction method to pull a prey item into its body.
Because if it commits any more like length on the head end, it's just going to drop. It'll be too heavy and drop off, so it can't keep pushing down to stretch up again. I reckon.
I mean, it could keep extending itself. Like it can just, like it could sit on the back third of its body and have the front 2/3 off for sure.
Even with the weight of the bird.
Even with the weight of the bird, it could hang on the back third.
मैं थोड़े देर पहले गौतम को कॉल किया कि स्नेक रेस्क्यू.
And that's it. It's almost done.
Yeah.
Almost
Past
done.
the chest. it's
Now
just
this
the
bit will
legs.
be very easy. As soon as the mouth gets to the point where it can close, or it can be less stretched, the rest goes up like a spaghetti. I reckon.
Where's he going to sleep?
Generally crawl.
He's gonna go
No,
into
that's what
there.
I was
He'll
thinking
just
at the
go into
beginning.
there.
Like, what
Into the
happens?
middle.
Because that tree's not big enough for him to find a place nearby. It looks like he'd have to go into here.
It's very dense in there, though. I think he'll just sit in the crown in there somewhere.
Yeah, but it's a dangerous place to be during the day for a snake.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? What's in there? What's
Eagles and owls and chikras and little,
Chikras?
these small like little falcon birds.
Oh,
There's
they're
lots of
cool,
these
like-
things. Like even if a crow or a tree pie, that's like it'll get rumbled. You know,
It's a
all the
sitting
birds will
duck.
start making a noise. It's not a comfortable place for a snake
Where
to
would
be.
it go? In like a massive tree and hide in a nook somewhere?
Yeah,
In a hole.
that would be a preference. Or yeah, like underneath something, around something.
Yeah, and exactly. Can he move?
And the
Tip of
venom
head
that
is
was.
probably already starting to get.
No, it was being digested before it even started eating. That's what the venom starts doing.
I mean, it's not going past lungs, heart, anything like that, is it? It's just-
Yeah, one lung goes almost at least a third or half of the body of a snake.
And what's it do?
I mean, snakes don't need to breathe as much as us, so they can hold their breath a lot longer. I don't know, I think it must be breathing, and probably that's why one lung is so long, to allow for one section to continue respiring maybe in these times, I don't know. But the actual digestion actually begins at the point of envenomation, which is one of the crazy cool things about venom. Incredibly large thing for it to eat if you look at it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's this footage now. This is insane, you know, just to have the tip of the tail sticking out. You see it going up like a spaghetti slowly? Because now the snake can constrict by itself using the muscles in its body. Yeah, I'd like can you get a photo of that?
That's a nice bit.
I can, but you need to hold the leg.
This is an amazing picture. Can do one zoomed out as well for the whole context of the space. It's a good question. Depends on, like, all snakes are different, I don't know. And it potentially, I mean, that's a very, very interesting thing to get. Yeah. But it implies that this is a very intelligent snake. It's done 3 things today that are very... Yeah, this is an important bit now, getting the snake moving off after the food. Round comes off the footage. And very full. I know what I feel like after a Christmas meal or something. And that's nothing. It will come soon. Good night. Is enough now, no?
Yeah.